In this video, we'll see the importance of toString method. Now to demonstrate what a toString method, let's say we have a class which is, let's say A. So we have a class name called as A, and in this class, let's say I have variable which is int I, and I have a string, let's say s name. So I have two variables here, or two members. One is int I and second is string s name. Now let's say if I want to create the object of A, if we say A obj equal to new A, and then what I can simply do is I can assign the values. I will say obj dot I is equal to, let's say the value is 4, and obj dot s name, and we'll say the name here is Rahul. Let's make R capital. So we have a I value which is 4 and S name which is Rahul. Now let's try to print the object. Now if I print this object, let's see what's the output. So we'll say system.out.println, it should be ln. And inside this bracket, what we can do is we can simply type obj. So now we are not printing the values of obj, we are just printing obj. So if you see the output, so if I say run as Java application, you can see the output is something in this way. So what is this? This is the package name. So it is com.dataflow.navin.a. .navin is the package. A is the class name because obj is the object of class A. And then where is that window? Okay, let me just run it again. Instead of searching, we'll say run. Okay, and then you can see there's an @ symbol, and this is the hash code. So hash code is the unique address for a block where you store your objects. But what I want is, instead of getting this value, it should print the value of I and S name. The value of I and S name is 4 and Rahul. Now, in order to do that, let's say how it works first. So whenever you try to print an object, by default, every object, because of any class in Java, so all this class extends a object class, and in object class, there is a method called as toString. So whenever you try to print any object, by default, it will call a method called as toString. Now you will say, our class don't have any method called as toString. Of course, we don't have any toString, but this obj class here, or this object class here, has a method called as toString. So when I say obj or toString, so it will search for toString in this A class. If it fails to find that method, it will jump to object class. And that's why in object class we have defined a definition of toString in a manner that it will print the package name, class name, and the hash code. But instead of using object class toString, what we can do is we can simply do a overriding here. So we can define that method here. So toString method always return a string, and the method is toString. And what we can do is we can simply say return. Instead of returning a class name and a hash code, we can return a value of I with a colon. So we'll say a colon here, and plus will print s name. So instead of calling a method of object class toString, it will call a method of this A class now. So instead of getting a class name and a hash code, if you run this code now and see the output. So instead of printing a hash code, it's printing the values. So you will say, okay, we are writing here toString. Let me remove this now. Even if you remove this, if I say run now, you will be getting the same output. That means by default, when you try to print the object, it will call toString method of that object. So this is how we need to implement toString. In fact, if you don't want to define it by yourself, you can take the help of IDE here. So on your Eclipse IDE, you can search for a source. In this source, there is an option of generate toString. So it says it already there. So what if you don't have? If you don't have, you have to select I want a toString method in this. I want a toString method, and if I say OK, so it will give me a toString. Since we have already had the toString, it will remove the existing toString and it will create its own. Now what is this at override? So in Java we have this feature that whenever you override or you specify some important things or something which you should be checking in compile time, so you can use something as annotations. So annotation provides you some lots of features that's out of the scope of this topic, but annotation provides you some features. So we can also remove this because we don't need that. So we can simply say toString and it returns a class name and it says the value of I is the value which will print, the value of sname the value will print, and since we are calling a toString method, so it will call toString. So if I say Java application, you can see it's printing everything now from the variable value to the hash code. So either you can define toString by yourself or you can use a toString method or you can just implement a toString method so that you can print your own value or you can use object class toString.